Hi everybody, welcome to Yin with me, Anna. It's great to be here today. As you can see, we've switched things up a little bit. Santana will not be my model, he'll be playing some live music for us, so that's really exciting. We'll have a little bit of background music along with a little bit of Yin, about 60 minutes or so. Without further ado, let's get started. Again, I want you to have lots of props if you have them. Make do with what you have at home. If you don't have specific yoga props, no big deal. I have 2 blocks. I have a blanket and I have a bolster. So maybe you have a bunch of pillows and a blanket or whatever kind of suits you. So go ahead and grab all your props and we'll get started in the first pose. I want us to start by kind of opening up our chest in a shoulder hang position. So for this first pose, I'm going to use both of my blocks, and you could use a substitute such as 2 pillows or books or really whatever feels good for you, rolled up blankets, and then I have my blanket as well for this. So we'll go ahead and start in a prone position. So we're going to start on our stomachs. So I'm going to come down to my stomach and grab my blocks and situate them so that they're directly underneath my shoulders. So I'm going to start with them on the lowest setting here. As you see, just a little bit of a lift. Now my blanket is going to be underneath my forehead for a little bit of support. So start on the lowest position and see how that feels. Arms are down your sides, palms are facing up. And relax, legs are heavy behind you, belly's melting. Forehead feels grounded. Maybe eyes are closing. Work to find stillness in each pose. Work to just relax and let go. Try not to fidget. Notice your thoughts. Perhaps watch them as they come and go. Yogis, if you'd like a little bit more out of this pose, I'm going to suggest that you lift your blocks to the second height to finish the last 2 minutes or so. You're welcome to try it. If you don't like it, just go back down. Last few breaths here. We'll come out of the pose. I just want you to simply set your blocks to the side. And come all the way down to your chest. Maybe bring one cheek to the mat and just notice the difference. Shoulders are now rolling forward. We're just letting gravity pull us down for another breath or two. Moving into a heart opener next, we'll find a Sphinx pose and many different variations. Go ahead and start by lifting up to your forearms. Nice and gently, elbows are underneath, shoulders in alignment. We can certainly stay right here for our Sphinx pose. If you would like a blanket to put your forearms on top of, or if you want to use the bolster. I often like to use the bolster. I'm gonna tuck it underneath my ribs and bring my arms out in front of me so that I'm just resting my rib cage on the bolster. I don't really have to do much here. If you'd like to let your head fall forward, you could grab a block and let your forehead come down to a block. Once you get situated, and take your time to do so, I want you to bring attention to your lower half and relax your glutes. Relax your legs, let your feet fall open, whatever feels comfortable there. Yogis, we're about halfway. If you'd like a little bit more, you could turn it into a seal pose, so lifting your head off of your block, walking your hands a little closer towards you, just lifting through your chest higher here. If you are on your forearms, make sure you bring your hands about the width of your mat, so hands are a little bit wider than shoulder width. And my belly is still soft, and I'm still relaxing through my glutes, so I'm letting go completely, closing my eyes. Just using my arms to hold me up, and if this is too intense or gets too intense after a while, just come back down. next place we'll go following this is going to be a wide knee child's pose. So wherever you are, you can start to lift up slightly. Send your knees wide and sit back into your heels. I'm going to set my props off to the side to do this, though I'm going to grab my blanket and put it underneath my knees. You might want to do the same. So toes are touching, knees are wide, and I'm stretching out into my first child's pose. Just right in the middle for now. Go ahead and ground your third eye. Maybe give it a little rock side to side. Relax through your belly. If this is too much on your knees or your hips, lift your hips a little bit higher. Sit on a block or put a blanket between your heels and your hips. We're going to work to add a side body stretch. If you prefer to stay here, that's fine. If you'd like to add a little bit more, just tent your hands, lift your forehead, and walk your hands to the right a couple inches. And bring your forehead back down to the mat. And relax. Back down into your child's pose. Think about pressing left hip back to left heel. Sending your breath to that left side of your body, feeling expansion. And on the exhale, feeling release. Go ahead and lift up your head, tent your hands and walk back to center. And then we'll go over to the left side when you're ready. Bringing your forehead back down. Pressing right hip back towards right heel. Breathing into right side of body on the exhale, feeling a release. we'll lift our forehead, tent our hands, and start to walk back to center. This time lifting on up to our tabletop. Bringing knees about hip-width apart. Hands under shoulders. Let's just move into a couple cat-cows. Bring a little movement into our bodies here. So inhale as you drop your belly, lift your gaze, cow pose. Exhale as you arch your spine, tucking chin, cat pose. So inhale, opening up, making this big and dramatic. And exhale, arching as you get small and tight. Continue just like that. For a couple more rounds of breath, perhaps adding some barrel rolls with your hips. Side to side, front and back. Whatever feels good for you. If you're not, I want you to close your eyes and just tune into sensations. Don't worry about what it looks like. Soak up that feeling. Another breath or two. And if you'd like these last moments to pop back into a down dog, you're welcome to, but it's not required. And we'll move into our first hip opening pose. We're going to find a lizard pose. So whether you're in down dog or tabletop, I want you to step your right foot forward and drop your left knee down to the mat. So this is a pose where you probably want cushion underneath your back knee. I might even double mine so that it's nice and comfortable. Now I'm going to walk my right foot to the outside of my right hand. So my right foot is all the way on that right side of the mat. And then I'm going to grab my bolster. Tuck my bolster all the way up into my hip flexor on left side. And bring my hands to the bolster in front of me. So I'm nice and lifted to begin with. Staying here for a moment, seeing how it feels. Knee over ankle on that right side, feeling that stretch in my hip flexor. And we'll stay up for the first minute or so. And this might be where some of you stay the whole time. This is a pose where I want you to grab as many props as you need. Once we come down, I want you to be as comfortable as possible. Good, last 2 rounds of breath right here. And then either you're going to choose to stay up like this, or you're going to start to come down a little bit further. If you have the ability, you're never forcing anything. So I'm going to come down to my hands, and then I'm going to choose to come down to my forearms on the bolster, hanging out here for a few minutes. Now I'm feeling that in my right hip. Where I want you to be feeling this, that right hip and that left hip flexor as well. And then maybe some of you decide to bring forearms all the way down, coming all the way down to rest on your bolster, on your blocks, on your pillows, on your blankets, whatever you've got. If coming all the way down you feel like you're forcing it or it feels painful, don't do it. Stay up more. We're about halfway. The last option I'm going to give you is if you'd like to come to the knife edge of your right foot and allow your right knee to fall open to the right side, try it out. If it doesn't suit you, bring it up right again. Let go here. Just breathe. Gently start to press down into your hands. Lift yourself up and off. Slide your right leg back to your left. It might feel nice to find cat-cows, perhaps embryo, perhaps just seated. Just take a moment to yourself. Whatever you need, close your eyes. If you'd like to pop back into a down dog before that final side, go for it. Pedal feet. We're gonna go ahead and do that final side of our lizard. So scoot your bolster to the right side and step your left foot forward. Right knee comes down, cushion it. Left foot is on the left edge of my mat. I'm going to tuck my bolster close up into my hip flexor on the right side, and I'm going to start upright. A minute here, maybe hands are on your block. Block, bolster, whatever you've got. Maybe hands are on the mat. Just ease into it. can choose to stay right here, or maybe start to come down a little bit further, one place at a time. Take your time to get there. See how each position feels in that left hip and right hip flexor. Make sure you're not forcing anything. Perhaps coming all the way down eventually to your low position. About halfway. If you'd like to come knife edge of left foot and let left knee fall open, you're welcome to try it. Press into your hands and gently lift yourself up. Sliding left knee back to meet right. Sitting down, cat-cows, downward facing dog embryo pose, whatever feels good for you. Couple breaths here. Nice job, everybody. That's not an easy pose. We're going to stay on our legs for this next pose. We'll get into our hamstrings though, rather than our hips. So blanket, you're going to sit on the edge of it. So maybe double it up or so. Go ahead ahead and put it a little bit behind you. And I want you to just sit on the very edge so that you feel like your sit bones are kind of tilting forward. We'll let our legs come long out in front of us. We're going to do a Janu Shavasana. So let's pick a leg. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. I'm just going to put my right leg off to the right side and pull my left in, turning my chest towards my right leg. So I'm framing it, and then you might want to grab blocks so you can just start to hinge towards that leg. So I want you to stay nice and long through your spine. Make sure that you have a little bit of a bend in your right knee and you're just relaxed through your right foot. We're just squaring our shoulders off towards it and hinging forward. I'm not rounding through my spine. I'm staying nice and upright. If you have more flexibility, you're welcome to do it without blocks. You could put a block in front of your right foot and grab for your block and then hinge, but don't force it. I'm going to make a slight variation for the last half of this pose. So lift up slightly if you came forward. Bring your right forearm on the inside of your right leg. Open up your chest and reach left arm up and over. So keep left sit bone grounded. Just opening up, getting that nice stretch on the left side of body. Remember to breathe. And then go ahead and gently lift yourself up to a seated position. Take a moment, just neutral. If you'd like to open through your chest, plant your left hand behind you. Right arm lifts up, lift through left knee. Lift your hips, head falls back, open through your chest. One more breath in. And then we'll sit back down nice and gently, and we'll move into the other side. So grab your props. Switch your legs. Left long, right comes in. Situate your blanket if you need to move it a little bit. Slight tilt of your pelvis forward. Turn towards your long left leg with your chest and gently begin to hinge here. Just starting to feel a little bit. Make sure you're not locking out your left leg, so you have a little bend there. My foot's relaxed. Use props so that you have a long spine. Have a little more flexibility, you could put a block in front of your foot, grabbing that block and bowing forward. Move on to that final variation of this pose, lifting up slightly, bringing left forearm to the inside of left leg, opening up chest so my shoulders are now stacked, and then reaching right arm up and over. Easing into this at first, maybe not getting very far. After a while, you'll be able to reach a little bit further, but keep that right hip down. Try not to cave in through your right shoulder. Think about bringing right chin towards right shoulder. Just slightly. Gently start to come out of it, pressing yourself up, opening up if you took that option last time. Right hand back, left arm high, press through shin, and lift hips, let head fall to the back of the room, reaching, expanding. And gently sitting back down. We're gonna make our way to lie down next. Finally, yay. So I'm gonna put my blanket where my head's gonna go, because I like a little bit of a pillow. Just make sure you have your props nearby. I'll set my blocks to the side, but not too far. And then bolster. Probably gonna want that bolster pretty shortly. So go ahead and lie back and just take a moment lying flat. Maybe a big full body stretch. And whenever you're ready, we're gonna move into a supported bridge. So I want you to bend your knees and grab whatever prop you think might suit you. It might be a blanket, it might be a pillow or a block. But lift your hips and then slide something underneath your sacrum. That flat, hard, triangular bone at your low back. Just a little bit of a lift there. Arms can come wide. Maybe they come up overhead, whatever feels good for you. So this is supported bridge, and this is just a very usual variation. And you're welcome to stay here, but I'm going to give you 2 more variations. One for supported bridge is to lengthen your legs. And that's going to make it more intense of a back bend. And you'll feel a little bit in your hip flexors as well. The final variation is going to be to find a legs up the wall instead of a supported bridge. So I'm going to let you know when it's about halfway, so that if you'd like to change and do something else, you're welcome to. I'm going to choose long leg supported bridge because that's my favorite. It doesn't matter to me. Make sure shoulders are grounded. Close your eyes. So if you want to change whatever you're doing and do something else instead, you're welcome to. Or you can stay right where you are. bench or legs up the wall, I want you to start to rebend your knees and plant them on the mat in front of you. And then bringing arms down your sides for support, just lift your hips and slide that prop out from underneath you, coming down flat on your back, taking a moment, maybe finding a butterfly or pulling knees into chest, giving yourself a hug, whatever feels good for you. Just neutralize for a second. Go ahead and meet me with legs long. And then we'll just pull our right knee into our chest, and I want you to lace your hands together somewhere maybe under your knee or on your shin, and squeeze your right knee towards your right armpit area, holding it in nice and tight, massaging that ascending colon. And then use your left hand to guide your knee across your chest into a twist. So some of you might want a block or a pillow underneath your knee. You're welcome to set that up for yourself. Don't force your knee all the way across. Just gently guide it. Try to keep your right shoulder grounded, and maybe your right arm reaches long to the right. Head might go to the right. Close your eyes. Go ahead and gently bring your right knee back to the center, giving it another squeeze and releasing it long. Once that touches left knee, comes in, hands clasp, just not directly on your kneecap. And then pulling left knee towards left armpit, shoulder area, massaging that descending colon. Maybe one more big squeeze. And then finding the twist, right hand guides left knee across body. Nice and gently, we're not forcing that knee to touch the ground. And when you're ready, left arm goes long. Make sure that left shoulder is grounded. Maybe head goes to left. pull your knees into your chest one more time. Maybe lifting head and shoulders, scrunching into a ball. And then exhale as you begin to set up for your final Shavasana. I'm going to put my bolster underneath my knees for a little bit of support. If you want to put a rolled up blanket, a block under each knee, a pillow, whatever feels good for you, that might be nice. Otherwise, set your shoulders, let your palms face up, close your eyes, and just let go. Yogis, thank you so much for joining us over the last 60 minutes. I hope you got a little bit out of this, whether it was a stretch, a nice musical performance, or just feeling a little bit more relaxed. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you soon. The light and the love in me sees and honors the light and the love in each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.